Last night on the Angle Show on Twitch, we talked about an AEW wrestler being gone from the company, but today we actually have details. Now we could actually bring you guys the details. It's really important because it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. If you're not following the Angle Show on Twitch, highly encourage you guys check it out. The link is in the description. With that being said, we're also going to talk about some really exciting news between Warner Media and AEW, and of course, we got to talk about this WWE draft. So let's just kind of kick into it. WWE reportedly planning for a draft. At least that is what's being said by Ringside News. It's also been confirmed by Dave Meltzer and Fightful in recent times. Apparently, WWE internally has the draft listed for September, which is right around the time of Clash at the Castle. Guys, this is really, really interesting. And not because it's a draft that WWE is doing, right? WWE does a draft at this point every year. But I have grown a huge disdain for the WWE draft, and it's largely due to the way it's been presented, the way that they do it, the structure. You know, I feel like WWE is sports entertainment, but the way they do this draft, it's not very sportsmanlike at all, which is interesting because Vince McMahon was the owner of XFL, so I feel like he would know at least somewhat of how a draft would work. Nonetheless, the reason why I bring this up, though, is should AEW copy? This is more something I want to hear you guys talk about in the comment section. I would love to hear your opinion, whether or not AEW should copy WWE, brand split, do a draft. And the reason why I mention this, and it's not one specific reason, I mean, there's a couple different factors into this, but when you consider that AEW's owner is part of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Fulham Football Club. This guy obviously knows a thing or two about sports, plus he has his own analytics company. And I feel like if there's somebody who could actually pull off a legitimate pro wrestling draft and brand split, it would be Tony Khan. It's a compliment to Tony Khan. I feel like he would know what to do. I feel like WWE has no idea what they're doing with this draft. And I honestly don't even get excited about WWE doing the draft anymore because of that reason. Because of the presentation, I feel like it falls shy of any importance. And you know, that's why I want to talk about this. I want to hear your guys' opinions. I know a lot of people are 50-50 on the brand split, but I imagine if AEW actually had a brand split and they did a draft, I don't know. I feel like Tony Khan, if there's one thing I can say very, very confidently about TK, he would know exactly what to do. He would know exactly how to put it together. He would know exactly how to make this feel like a sport. And that's just, to me, you know, the funny thing is WWE back in the day, their draft used to be so sick, right? But now it's just not really anything. It's just, I don't know. It's very strange how WWE pulls it together. Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, now we have some news about a new AEW reality series. AEW is slated to reveal this in the near future. The idea is it's going to be on TBS. There was a survey that was sent out to AEW Ringsiders, and they wanted potential feedback on the name of the show. Some very interesting names were on this. AEW Friends to Enemies, Fight to the Finish, To the Mat, Road to the Belt, Breakout, Grit and Glory, All Access, The Climb, On the Ropes, Uprise. This is such a strange thing, honestly, because I think we've all known for a while that the new AEW reality show is going to come soon, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen with the show. You know, we thought maybe it was going to be a thing with Darby Allin. Obviously, they don't have Roads to the Top anymore, but I assume this will be the replacement to Roads to the Top. So a very good in-depth look at behind the scenes, things like that. Roads to the Top did pretty fine with viewership, so I don't think this is like a bad thing for AEW. In fact, I think reality TV could make a big comeback in the years to follow if it's associated with big IPs like this, right? When you look at AEW or WWE, when you look at the NBA or some of these bigger sports leagues, like I think if they had reality shows involving certain talent in the offseason or whatever it may be, I think people would be interested. I don't think people are interested anymore in like the Kardashians and Housewives and stuff like that, because I think less people are watching TV in that regard. But I think this is a good idea for AEW and Warner Media. And for those who are curious about the Warner Media and Discovery merger, what this actually means, should we be worried? I mean, technically we don't know, but why would they continue creating content on a weekly basis between two shows and then launch a reality show? You know, I would think maybe from the outside looking in, AEW has more support than ever from Warner Media. And obviously with the Discovery merger, that's a really, really, really good thing. So obviously, my goal here is to keep you guys updated with anything that happens in this merger. But this to me is a good sign of things to come, and I think it's a good thing. I'm curious what you guys think. Maybe you don't watch reality TV, but I think if it's wrestling related, it could be really cool. So with that being said, I want to turn our attention to Stu Grayson, because as you may have heard, Stu Grayson is gone from AEW. Or is he? Is he gone? See, that's the thing here. AEW not publicly commenting on it. It's a very, very strange thing. But I wanted to talk about this because there's some stuff that has come out from Dave Meltzer regarding Stu Grayson and AEW. His contract has expired and both sides cannot agree to a money figure on a new deal. This is incredibly odd to me. And the reason why I think this is odd to me is because Stu Grayson is part of the Dark Order. And don't get me wrong, Stu Grayson wasn't being pushed. Dark Order hasn't been pushed recently as of late. But what the hell happened here? To me, that's the big question, is what happened here? You know, every time I make a video on an AEW star leaving, and this is the truth. I know some people don't like it, but this is the truth. Every time somebody leaves AEW, oh, well, it's not a big deal. It's not that big of a deal. No, who cares? They're not even good, right? I see these comments every single time. It's happened with Marco Stunt, Joey Janela. It's happened with Stu Grayson. I'm seeing people say it last night live on the Twitch show, like, oh, it's not even that big of a deal. I seen it in the chat. But to me, and I think there's going to be a lot of people who disagree here, but to me, I think AEW, not publicly, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, AEW is a sport. Anytime you watch a sports league, when people are removed from the roster, when they're released, when they're not re-signed, it's known. When you watch ESPN. But if AEW is a sport, for some reason you never find out unless it's coming from Meltzer, Sean Ross Sapp, Ringside News, this company, that company, this dirt sheet, that dirt sheet, whatever. And even that too, like, I don't know, man. I feel like with AEW, I like Stu Grayson, first of all. I like what they have with Dark Order. To me, if you look at a common trend, any of these people who are not being re-signed that can't come to a new agreement, it's typically the people that aren't being used. And I don't know, I just remember in the beginning of AEW, there was this whole thing of like equal pay, and that was something that was really big at the time of AEW coming out. And, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means to have like a money, like not being able to agree to money factors and stuff like that. But ultimately, I like AEW and I like Stu Grayson, so it sucks. But also what I would want to point out too is that AEW, like, is this on AEW or is this on Stu Grayson? Did Stu Grayson just want an absurd amount of money? Did he not want to be there? You know what I mean? It's hard to analyze this because you don't know the details, because there's really no information out there other than the fact that they couldn't come to terms with a new agreement. But it would be nice to see Stu Grayson do something different from AEW, obviously. I think he's a great talent. I think a lot of companies would like him. What happens next? I'll be really telling. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Go ahead and click on the playlist right here on the screen. It's somewhere right over here. But yeah, this way you can stay in tune with all the videos that are going up on this channel 7 days a week. Of course, my name is Ango, at the official Ango on Twitter. You are a really good person. Thanks for watching. Peace.